Welcome to ATR Powerslam, Above the Ring's new YouTube show coming to you this weekend to provide all your wrestling results from the first week of January and February. Is February 12th, 2023, with a 15-minute time limit. We're your host, the SLB, and John the Statman, with Scott out on assignment. We're going to kick things off here. John, I'm going to throw it right to you to kick us off with Monday Night Raw.
All right, kicking off with the beginning of last week with Monday Night Raw. So we started off with Edge and Beth Phoenix wanting some payback against the Judgment Day, and it looks like that is going to be a match we'll be seeing at Elimination Chamber. Edge and Beth Phoenix versus Finn Balor and Rhea Ripley. And then next we had Damian Priest defeating Angelo Dawkins to win an Elimination Chamber qualifying match. And then we saw Dexter Lumis defeat Baron Corbin by pinfall. And later on in the night, we saw JBL finally moving on from Baron Corbin. So it looks like that association is gone going forward. Brock Lesnar wanted Bobby Lashley to sign a contract to face him again, which may happen in Elimination Chamber. We'll see if that goes out to WrestleMania, but Elimination Chamber is right around the corner. We had Carmella defeat Candice LeRae and Piper Niven in Elimination Chamber, a Fatal 4-Way qualifying match. We had Cedric Alexander and Shelton Benjamin of what we think is probably the reunited Hurt Business, and defeating Alpha Academy. Asuka beat Chelsea Green by submission. And getting close to the end of the night, we had the back and forth between Cody Rhodes and Paul Heyman. We don't usually share much opinions on Powerslam, but that's something I would suggest checking out. And then we had Montez Ford defeating Elias to win that Elimination Chamber qualifying match. And then we closed out the night with a Bayley versus Becky Lynch in a steel cage match that we didn't get a few weeks ago. We finally got that that evening. But that's all I got from Monday Night Raw. I'll pass it off to Sam. I don't remember what he's covering next, but I will pass it off to him anyway.
We're covering WWE's NXT. Kicking the night off with Zoe Stark defeating Sol Ruka. We had Dabba-Kato defeat Dante Chen. Isla Dawn defeated Tatum Paxley. Carmelo Hayes defeated JD McDonald. And I think not the end of the night. Lyra Valkyra defeated Valentina Feroz. Following that, we had Shannon Stacks Lorenzo defeat Odyssey Jones. Then Pretty Deadly defeated Chase U. And I believe this was that whole bit at the end of the show with Gigi Dolan getting kicked in the face.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yeah, the whole Martin Jannetty thing ending Toxic Attraction. So I'm going to slap it right back over to John, and he's going to cover the results from AEW Dynamite this week.
All right, AEW Dynamite this past Wednesday night from El Paso, Texas. We got Eddie Guerrero country here. We first started off the night with MJF defeating Konosuke Takeshita by submission, and he bloodied him after the match with Bryan Danielson running out to drive off the world champion. Then later on we had Jamie Hayter defeat the Bunny by pinfall. And then we had MJF tell that controversial story, which I think we'll be covering in the most recent episode of Above the Ring, where got a few calls regarding this promo, so we'll be talking about that. You have to check out that episode of Above the Ring. We had Daniel Garcia defeat Ricky Starks in the Garcia Guevara gauntlet match. There's a lot of G's there. All right, then we had Bryan Danielson defeating Rush, then getting attacked by MJF after the pinfall. I actually didn't see this as I was watching Dynamite, Sam. But apparently, the Impractical Jokers had Chris Jericho's back, which I totally missed that in the sort of Dynamite. Apparently, that happened, and there's some later events that'll be addressed in the Rampage, which I'll be covering in a few moments here. We had the Elite defeat Top Flight and AR Fox to retain the AEW World Trios Championship, and we concluded the night in shocking fashion with the Guns defeating the Acclaimed to become the new AEW World Tag Team Champions. Certainly a surprising way to end Dynamite last week, but those are the results, and I'll pass it right back to Sam with what he has to share.
Up and over the Thursday night, we have Impact results. Oh, come on. I had it right in front of me, and it's gone. It is absolutely gone.
Uh-oh.
No, here we go.
All right.
Okay, we had Brian Myers defeat Dirty Dango in a qualifying match for No Surrender. We had Mickey James and Tommy Dreamer defeat The Good Hands. Well, now we had Jordan Grace defeat Steph Delander. Next up, we had the Death Dolls with Jessica Havoc taking on and defeating Killer Kelly and Taylor Wilde. PCO defeated Mojave Shira in another No Surrender qualifying match. I believe that's their next Impact Plus event coming up. And the main event was for the Impact Digital Media Championship. Joe Hendry defeated Matt Cardona to retain the title. Following up, hopping over to Friday on SmackDown. Opening the night, we had Sheamus and McIntyre take on in, squash Hit Row. The Usos defeated Ricochet and Strowman to retain the WWE tag titles. Liv Morgan and... I just had them in front of me. Raquel Rodriguez. Wow, totally blanked there. Took on defeated Sonya Deville and Chelsea Green. About this time, I believe Ronda Rousey came back and attacked Natalya. What an angle to bring her back. I know there was some conversation between Jey Uso and Sami Zayn here. More build up on that storyline. We had a Fatal 4-Way number 1 contenders match. I believe for the IC title, where Madcap Moss defeated Santos Escobar, Karrion Kross, and Rey Mysterio in the main event. So I'm going to tag it right back over to John for the results for AEW Rampage.
All right, concluding the week with AEW Rampage, we had Jon Moxley, Wheeler Yuta, and Claudio Castagnoli of the, I think, still the Blackpool Combat Club, defeated Kip Sabian, the Butcher, and the Blade. And we had, this is where the events from, some of the events of Rampage carried over, what am I saying? The events of Dynamite carrying over into Rampage, where the Impractical Jokers were powerbombed through a table. Moving on, we had Ruby Soho defeating Marina Shafir, and Saraya and Toni Storm out after, still being heels with Britt Baker and Jamie Hayter, coming out, and the brawl breaks out. We did see Mark Briscoe on AEW television again. Ended up in a confrontation with Josh Woods. We had Jungle Boy Jack Perry defeat Ryan Namath. And we had Hangman Adam Page do an interview that was interrupted by Kip Sabian. Orange Cassidy defeated Lee Moriarty. to retain the AEW All-Atlantic title. And close out the night, we saw Jeff Jarrett, Jay Lethal attack Orange Cassidy and Danhausen. And looks like those events are going to carry into a match we'll see this coming Wednesday on Dynamite. That's all we got for you. Closing out the week in another episode of ATR Powerslam.